So we finally have an answer. And listen, for years, the My Hero Academia community has been debating the real meaning of the manga's ending. And now, we have official confirmation of what's coming to the anime. Just when we thought the story was over, it turns out there's one last definitive epilogue that will jump the story 8 years into the future. And it's set to change everything anime-only viewers thought they knew about the end of Deku's journey. When the manga first wrapped up, a lot of fans felt Deku's story ended on this bittersweet note, with a sacrifice that felt almost too heavy. But this newly announced anime special is going to give us the full picture, adapting the ending the story has been building towards for a decade. So what really happens to Deku in Class 1A after the war? And does this epilogue finally give our number one hero the ending he actually deserves? Let's break it down. So to understand why this epilogue is such a huge deal, we have to go back to the end of the final war in the manga. After a decade of storytelling, the ultimate battle against All for One and Shigaraki reached its insane conclusion. The heroes won, but man, the cost was immense. Cities were destroyed, countless people died, and the entire structure of hero society was shaken. And right in the middle of it all was Izuku Midoriya, who, in one final, desperate move, used the last embers of One for All to finish the fight for good. And listen, this was the moment that basically split the fandom. Deku, the kid who was born quirkless and inherited the world's greatest power, had now lost it. He was back to where he started, a young guy with the heart of a hero, but no powers to back it up. The manga's initial ending showed a world rebuilding, with the rest of Class 1A stepping up to become the next generation of top pro heroes. For Deku, it looked like his path was leading him back to UA High School, not as a student, but as a teacher. The symbolism was powerful. The ultimate hero, now powerless, passing his spirit on to the next generation. It was a thoughtful ending, but for a lot of people, it just felt incomplete. Was that it? Was Deku, the hero who saved literally everyone, just going to watch from the sidelines while his friends kept fighting? It felt noble, but it also felt like our protagonist got left behind. And this lingering question is exactly what the upcoming epilogue is here to answer. And then, at Jump Festa 2026, the bombshell dropped. The My Hero Academia anime isn't quite over. They announced that a special epilogue episode titled More is officially in production and will premiere on May 2nd, 2026. And guys, this isn't filler. It's not a side story. This episode is going to adapt the manga's real final chapter, chapter 431, the part of the ending that gave manga readers the full scope of how this story actually concludes. This special is a huge part of the anime's 10th anniversary project, which is crazy to think about since the show started way back in April 2016. They're calling it the definitive goodbye after 8 seasons and about 170 episodes. The More episode will jump the timeline forward 8 years after the final battle. So for the first time, anime-only viewers will get to see a canonical, animated look into the adult lives of Deku and his friends. The announcement confirmed it will provide even more details about their futures, expanding on what we saw in the manga. It's set to stream exclusively on Crunchyroll for everyone outside of Asia, so the whole global community can watch this final chapter together. To be clear, this isn't a retcon or some change to the story. This is the adaptation of the ending that manga readers have known about for a while. It's the final piece of the puzzle. The announcement from Toho Animation even said this epilogue is meant to be a proper send-off, which is basically a final thank you to a fan base that's been on this ride for a decade. So what does this 8-year time skip actually mean for the characters we love? Well, based on manga chapter 431, which the More episode will adapt, we know the main theme is how heroism changes in a world without All for One. The age of a single symbol of peace is over. The future is about heroes working together. And what about Deku? The manga's epilogue already laid this all out. 8 years later, Deku is, in fact, teaching at UA, inspiring students just like All Might inspired him. And yes, he is quirkless, having sacrificed One for All for good. But this is where the story hits you with its most important twist. a twist that redefines what it means to be a hero. Deku wasn't left behind. He wasn't forgotten. And yeah, fan theories have been flying around for years about how Deku could get back in the game, with a lot of people talking about a high-tech battlesuit, maybe built by Mei Hatsume or Melissa Shield. While the whole suit funded by Bakugo in Class 1A thing is a really popular fan idea, the core truth that the manga's final chapter confirmed is that Deku's friends never, ever gave up on him. His journey as a hero continues, not because of some inherited power, but through the bonds he built. He keeps doing hero work, using his insane strategic mind, his physical training, and, you guessed it, tech support provided by the very people he inspired. This upcoming episode will finally animate that truth for the whole world to see. It's going to show us that Deku losing his quirk wasn't an ending, it was a new beginning. He becomes the living proof of the series' very first message. You don't need a quirk to have the heart of a hero. The More episode is set to finally end the biggest debate in the fandom by showing that Deku's heroism was never about his power level. And honestly, this confirmation just changes the whole vibe. It validates the long, emotional journey we've all been on, and it promises a conclusion that feels earned for everybody. But now that we know what's coming, I gotta ask you guys, what are you most excited to see in the 8-year time skip? Any specific characters you're hoping they show? Let me know your theories and what you're hoping for down in the comments. And hey, if you're hyped for this final chapter of My Hero Academia, do me a favor, like this video and subscribe for more breakdowns. The announcement of the More Epilogue special really solidifies My Hero Academia's legacy as a series that just dared to be different. In a genre that's so often defined by protagonists who just get stronger and stronger, Horikoshi chose a completely different path. I mean, unlike Naruto or Dragon Ball, where the heroes end their stories at their absolute peak, My Hero Academia concludes by basically democratizing heroism. The goal was never for Deku to hoard all the power forever. It was to end the toxic cycle of one for all and all for one, and bring in an era where everyone could help keep the peace. Deku's final arc is the ultimate proof of this theme. He started as a quirkless kid who inspired people with nothing but his own spirit. In the end, after having the greatest power in the world, he goes back to that state, and yet he's more of a hero than he's ever been. His real power was never one for all. It was his ability to connect with people and inspire them. His friends, who are now top-tier pro heroes, supporting him so he can stand right there with them, is the ultimate payoff. It proves that the bonds you make are the strongest power of all. This epilogue isn't just some happily ever after. It's a statement. It confirms Deku's journey wasn't a tragedy about loss, but a triumph of spirit. As we look forward to May 2nd, 2026, and the other 10th anniversary stuff like the My Hero Academia in Concert World Tour, we can feel good knowing the story is ending on its own terms, with a conclusion that feels right. It's a definitive goodbye that's going to cement My Hero Academia's place as one of the most thoughtful and impactful superhero stories of our generation.